I'm going to show you a case of an expert marketer who forgot to mind the store. You'll see what the problems are, and I'm going to take you through them. Yet they were committed by a man who is a very capable marketer. This is his book. I strongly recommend the book, an excellent book. I think it is basic for anybody starting a business or starting a career to read this book. Terrific book. But there's a problem. On page 126 of the book, he tells about this wonderful program that he has called the Marketing DNA Test. And if you'll just come to the page, you'll be able to take this test. And he devotes 2 pages to it. And it's a good idea because he's trying to get you to the site and he's trying to get your name and address. And that's fine. That's what a marketer ought to do. That's what he says you should do. The difficulty is when you get to this page, the promised DNA marketing test is not here. In fact, there's no mention of it. So we have a situation in which something has been promised in the book. He has gotten me to go to his site. He's going to tell me that I can get this particular report, which looks terrific. I wanted to get the report. I was going to get it for free. Why not? But unfortunately, I didn't come here to get the report. I came here to find out about the marketing DNA test, and there's no mention of it. So I filled in the material. So he got my name and he got my email address, which is the wise thing to do. That's what a marketer ought to do. And then I was told I could get this, but I had to go to my inbox to get access to this special report. So I went to the inbox and I got a letter. And the letter says the following: congratulations on your purchase of Perry Marshall's 80/20 Sales and Marketing. Well, yes, I did purchase it, and I liked it, and so I am responding to it. Now, there's bonus content for my book purchase. Now, I didn't know about that. I missed that. Easy to miss these things, but I was coming to this site for something very specific, which he devoted 2 pages to in his book, so I assumed that was important. So we've come to the members area. Now, almost immediately there's a problem. He says, if you've never logged into our members area, by the way, there's no apostrophe here, so there's no coordination within the email, which is not a good sign. It's good to hire somebody who coordinates your email. So I'm told that my username is my email address. Well, that's fine. No problem with that. If you don't have or don't know your password, use the lost password feature. Well, I've not been given a password. This is the first mention of a password. So this creates an annoyance because all of a sudden I've got to log into something. I don't have just a click-through link to a PDF file where I can get my reports. I've got to take another step. So I click this and I go to a login area. Lost password. Well, of course I have a lost password. I've never been given the password, so obviously I have lost it. And I'm told that I can get a password, or at least I can replace the lost password I was never given. Now, I don't think this is wise. They're adding another step that was not mentioned in any of this to a product I want, but not the original product I was promised. Still having trouble logging in? Okay, so I click here. And I am taken to a screencast video of how to log in. Well, that's okay, except when you read through all of the choices that you have on the site, when you do log in, you find there's no free report, there's no marketing DNA test. There are simply a pile of items that he wants me to buy. In other words, it's upselling. That's okay. Upselling is fine. But I am now devoid of 2 promised free items. One, there's no mention of it. on the page I was directed to, and second, there is nothing that we can see in this website, if you watch the video, that relates to this free report that I could get. Now, I was going to drop a note to the webmaster because it's here. Guess what? Dead link. Now, support desk is a live link. Webmaster is a dead link. Now, that sends a message. And that sends a message from the webmaster. And the webmaster is saying loud and clear, I don't want to hear from you. If I wanted to hear from you, I would make this a live link, but I don't want to hear from you. But if you absolutely have to tell me that there's been a foul up, then okay, fair enough. If you'll type it in, you can mail it to me, but otherwise, I don't want to hear from you. Now that's what that says. I know enough about marketing to say that's a webmaster who does not want to hear from the public. He wants to do whatever he does, but he doesn't want to hear from me. So let's go back. Let's go back to the letter. What I've got here so far is a letter telling me that I was going to get something. I was guaranteed that I would get it. I can't get it. This is 0 for 2. There are 2 items that I have been told that I could get free of charge. And all I get is a way to upsell or purchase more goods, higher priced goods that he wants to sell me without ever delivering any of the free material. Now, my attitude when I see this is simple, and that is he's not minding the store. He has delegated too much of his sales to assistants. He does not have a beta tester who does nothing except test website pages, advertisements to make sure everything is coordinated. He needs a website ad coordinator, and he never hired that person, and it shows that he never hired the person. So in selling his services as a marketer, the first thing that a newcomer learns is this: he's not minding the store. He recommends getting personal assistance, and he tells the reader the best way to save time is to get personal assistants to do the work. He hired personal assistants. They're not doing the work. He's not monitoring what they're doing, and he hasn't hired a specialist to monitor what they're doing. So what does this tell me? It tells me that he writes a good book, and he does. It tells me that he has, in theory, a system which is going to reduce my expenses in running my sites. But what he is saying loud and clear is the theory can be fouled up completely in the execution if you don't hire the right assistants, and his system doesn't work. And it testifies to the fact that he does not implement his own recommendations. This is the case as the Bible says, physician, heal thyself. It's a mistake, it's the wrong positioning, and it basically compromises his own tremendous efforts to write a good book and show people what to do, but it basically says he either doesn't believe it or else he has not been able personally to implement it. I'm sure he makes a lot of money, but I still think this is not the message to send to a new person who has been promised 2 different free items and has received neither of them.